Okay, all right. Welcome to the Best Damn Podcast. I am your host, John Keene. As always, I would like to thank you guys for joining me. Ask that you please add, follow, and check us out www.thebestdampodcast.tv. Follow me Instagram, Best Damn Podcast, Twitter at The Real Best Damn, and wherever you're watching from, make sure to give us a thumbs up, hit the like, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and share this link, get it out there, spread far and wide, and make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell. And guys, keep in mind, we're completely viewer powered. That means we're fully funded and supported by you. And I'm just going to flat out say this. We are under attack on this channel, especially on the YouTube platform. This is every time now I do a video. They cut my videos off, they kick my live streams off, and it's not just on one channel. It's on all 3 YouTube channels that I'm streaming from, and it's on none of the other platforms, just YouTube. So, I mean, if it was like on my end, it would be on every platform, right? Because I'm streaming from one thing. So, I need your support. I need your help, guys. I'm gonna keep swimming. She said, just keep swimming. Yeah, we're gonna keep it going. Yeah, and that's the thing. Over the target, under attack. That's the truth. That's how it works. But, and I just want to let you know, too, I haven't even been mentioning this lately, but I'm going to, since they just kind of ticked me off with that. There has been a lot of electronic harassment aimed at me and my channel as of recently. And I just want people to know that one of the things that they have been trying to do is to get under my skin, cut off financial support, and get me to walk away from all of this because they don't like voices like mine saying the things that I say, and they don't like communities like this coming together and, shining a light on all of their shit. And that's just the flat out truth. So, I mean, please donate, support if you appreciate what we do. Not only does it help the channel continue to do what it do and grow, it also helps me. This is my living. So, with that said, I appreciate everybody who will. Yeah, dropping bombs, receiving flag. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. It's really. I know whenever I'm starting to catch momentum. Like, honestly, I know whenever I'm starting to catch momentum because the attacks start again. Guys, I've been doing this for so many years, and if I told you, I mean, I should do a video one day and just, tell you all the things that have been done to me as a result of this. They wouldn't even probably sit and listen. It would be hours of shit, but it's true, and that tells you something about the system. And like I was saying in the first part of the video, they were talking about this was all a blockbuster event that's taking place. It's because American politics is nothing more than theater, and they are distracting you from the fact that there is a transhumanist agenda that is taking place right now, disconnecting all of us from our true conscious selves, our real origins of who we are as human beings and one another. They're taking our humanity from us and implementing an agenda, Build Back Better, 666, green fucking satanic ass deal to try to enslave humanity into a technocracy. And that's just the way it is, If you want to talk about the Constitution and who violated this and Trump violated that, well, where is it at whenever we are being oppressed by our own government? Where is it at whenever, media manipulation and shit is taking place by the powers that be? Where is it at whenever they're trying to take away our right to bear arms, or take away our right to the freedom of speech, or our right to assemble, or our right to our own fucking health care and privacy? Where is it at then? It's nowhere to be found, right? It's been weaponized, and it's a term of convenience whenever the government wants to stretch or flex its muscle. And that's just the truth about the whole shit, and they don't want you awake and aware to these things because it empowers you. It empowers you. The more you know, the faster you'll grow consciously and spiritually, for one. And we do know that this is a spiritual battle when you boil it down to, the bare bones. Excuse me. My voice went out. But we also know that knowledge is power, right? And you won't be falling for, all of this fucking puppeting bullshit anymore. So I'll pick up where I left off. It says, United States has finally woken up to what the Chinese Communist Party has known for a long time. That 5G will become the central nervous system that connects and controls all other infrastructure. Should I say that one more time? Because I feel like I was just talking about that shit just a second ago. And here, let me drop the chat in here so I can actually see the people talking and shit. Let me drop that in here. All right. The United States has finally woken up to what the Chinese Communist Party has known for a long time. That 5G will become the central nervous system that connects and controls all other infrastructure. And if you watch our private videos, our private playlist, and you're a supporter of this channel, and if you do need the links to the private videos and you've donated the month of August, let me know. You text the number below or email, I'll send it out to you. You will know that this 5G agenda has been going back to since they were trying to get 90% of the population to capitulate and roll the fuck over just 2 years ago. All right? And that's what Build Back Better is, a green agenda to erase a carbon footprint. Guess what you're made up of, man? Carbon. It's an attack on humanity. This is an anti-human, alien agenda, and it's fucking demonic in nature. And people will be mad that I said I dropped an F-bomb in that. They'll say, oh, well, how can you say the word demonic and cuss? Well, your church has lined you up for all this stuff. You still go to them, don't you? Right? They was clearing out service on Sunday so you could all participate in this agenda. You still go worship them, right? You still drop $1 in the bucket every time it goes around. But because we're telling you uncomfortable truths, we're treated like black sheep and as outcasts of not only just society and the system, but our friends, family, and maybe the world. They want to wipe away anyone that tells the truth. That's absolutely true. And they live. It is they live. It is they live, right? You take off the fucking, or put on the glasses and you can see they're dead. They're twice dead. They're spiritually dead. They have taken the mark of the beast. And I went through all of the details, and I can't even talk about it on the public platforms anymore. So that tells you right there the Constitution and how strict things have gotten. All right, I can't even talk about graphene and luciferase and all of that, or they'll flat out give me a strike. They'll remove this video and they'll slam my fucking ass on every platform for telling you all about that. That's why you have to, support and check out the Dropbox, because I went through it all with a fine-tooth comb. So you will have no doubts as to what's taking place. It says, Mezzalingua said in a statement, the free world will depend on it. Our homes, schools, jobs, water systems, electrical grids, transportation networks, manufacturing, and military. And there you go. There's that neuro-linguistic programming. Once again, they're telling you the truth as they're slapping you upside the head with a lie, right? The free world will depend on it. Our homes, schools, jobs, water systems, electrical grids, transportation networks, manufacturing, and our military. It's because it's all this technocracy and this transhumanist agenda. During his remarks, Biden described how the lack of domestic capacity for semiconductor manufacturing contributed to inflation when factories abroad shut down during the coronavirus pandemic. He pushed back on criticism of subsidizing the semiconductor industry, saying the law is not handing out blank checks to companies, I'm ordering my administration to be laser focused on the guardrails that will protect taxpayer dollars, Biden said. It means making sure that companies partner with community colleges and technical schools, offer training and apprenticeship programs, and work with small minority-owned businesses. We have the power to take back any federal funding if the companies don't meet these commitments required by the bill. There you go. Right? Any dollars, any dinero that they gave you, that you got as a result of any of the pandemic, scamdemic shit, right? They're going to take it back from you if you don't capitulate. The White House promoted investments in American semiconductor manufacturing that companies have announced, including a $40 billion pledge from Micron in memory chip manufactured and a $4.2 investment in Qualcomm and Global Foundries to expand production. Qualcomm announced has it will increase semiconductor production domestically by over 50% over the next 5 years. We're going to construct an entire semiconductor ecosystem right here in the United States of America, Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo said at the White House event. The bill is the latest piece of bipartisan legislation to make it to Biden's desk following gun safety and infrastructure legislation. Imagine that. 17 Senate Republicans voted in favor of the legislation. 24 House Republicans also voted for the bill, bucking party leadership who attempted to whip against the bill as part of a political fight over the Democratic deal on a climate and tax bill. And there you have it, man. And that's what's truly going on. And that was the real agenda behind the Mar-a-Lago FBI raid right there. You see the bare bones of it, right? And what's going on behind the scenes and why they're hitting you with the Peter Pan shit and got you all in dream world on, the mainstream media, concentrating on Donald Trump again, right? Oh, it's the politicization of this and this. Yeah, okay. Yeah. As they roll out billions of dollars for the military industrial complex to turn you into a fucking computer chip. You can join the Internet of Bodies in the medical system and the Internet of Things. Right? I mean, there's really no difference. They've already altered your genetics. So it's not like you're an actual human being anymore. Anyways. Just saying. Oh, man. Democrats passed a major climate, health, and tax bill. Here's what in it. After weeks of negotiations to provide the core of their election year agenda, passed a spending bill which would attempt to tackle climate change, which we know what that actually is. That's just going after carbon, which you're made of. The high cost of prescription drugs, which is just backing Big Pharma, who is in control of everything, and lower the deficit by roughly $300 billion. Late Saturday night into Sunday morning, senators voted on amendments to Democrats' major spending bill that tackles health care, climate, and taxes. The legislation was passed through the budget reconciliation process, which means all 50 Democrats and one tiebreaker vote from Vice President Harris were needed. Since none of the 50 Republican senators voted for the bill, it also restricts measures in the bill to those that directly change federal spending and revenue. It's been a long, tough, winding road, Schumer said before the final vote on Sunday. It sure the fuck has, but not for none of you. They chill in their ivory towers. They pass laws and, they put out protocols and regulations and stipulations and guidelines and, all of these different things they want you to follow, and none of them follow a motherfucking thing that they tell you to do. And they do it in the name of safety and security. They do it in the name of public health. They do it in the name of whatever the fuck they need to. And we continue to argue over the red and blue and Biden or Trump because we're too fucking stupid to see that the land of liberty and freedom, it fell years ago. It's gone. The idea died already. It doesn't matter if Trump comes back in 2024 or not. He used our very own military to stage a coup d'etat against our own government when he was in office, and you didn't fucking notice it. And he did it in the name of patriotism. You know, one guy comes in and he pulls off the leashes and the straps and knocks down a few laws so the next guy can come in and blow the whole fucking thing up. And that's how it's worked. President after president, party after party, year after year, and election after election. They all have their fucking hands in the cookie jar. They're all traitorous to our very own government and the citizens who are oppressed by it. And they're all just puppets and slaves and don't make any real decisions. Truth be told. Welcome to Banana Republic, where the Biden administration weaponizes DOJ and FBI to target their political enemies. Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago raided by Joe Biden's FBI, while 1. Hunter walks free. 2. VP Biden met with CCP-linked energy executives in the White House. 3. Hillary acid-watched 33,000 emails. 4. Hillary spied on the Trump campaign. And 5. Andrew Cuomo gets away with his New York State COVID scandal. Interestingly, the judge, Bruce Reinhart, who signed Mar-a-Lago warrant, was former attorney for Jeffrey Epstein, as reported in the Miami Herald on November 28, 2018. Epstein also hired Bruce Reinhart, then an assistant U.S. attorney in South Florida, now a U.S. magistrate. Many will say it's just a coincidence. Remember when this guy got raided and it wasn't breaking news? Never forget that. Always seek truth. Yeah. You guys remember that? Just saying. In the meantime, it's becoming increasingly clear that Anthony Fauci gave U.S. tax dollars to confirm CIA asset Peter Daszak at EcoHealth to work with the Wuhan lab and create a bat which could infect. They did that, then released it, then locked us down, stole $7 million, and forced everyone. So, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. And as you're arguing over, Hillary and Trump and, who's worse and who does what, they're geoengineering the goddamn weather, weaponizing it against private farmers so they can't grow their own food, creating, hiccups in the supply chain. Supply shortages on purpose, staging geopolitical large-scale wars for the planned culling and invasion and depopulation of the masses. And if anybody speaks out against it, not only will they silence them, deplatform them, cancel them, stop every dollar they ever had to support them, they might just black bag them and kill them too while they're at it. And say it's in the name of defending the country against domestic terrorism. So, I mean, how free are we? I feel free. I don't know about you, but I feel free as fuck right now. Like I'm enjoying my liberty over here. I don't know. They're evil. They are evil. They're evil as fuck. We're trapped in an evil fucking country. Help us. But the whole rest of the world's evil too. So it's like, what are you gonna do? If you can't beat them, join them. You know what I mean? Like for real. If you guys don't donate and support, I'm gonna have to join the Illuminati at this point, right? I'm gonna have to sacrifice a few people or something just to stay alive at this point in the game. They're not going to put me in jail if I do it. I already know that. I know I'm good. If I go along with it, I think I'd look good in a red hood and one of those eyes wide shut masks. I think I'd look really cool. I think y'all would like it. They're going to kick my ass off here. I know. I'm going a little ham tonight. Sorry. My bad. Officials scrutinized over classified information but rarely found criminal. An ongoing FBI inquiry into Hillary Clinton's private email server has dogged the domestic presidential candidate on the campaign trail. And so this This is all the shit we weren't allowed to talk about either. Federal agents want to know if U.S. secrets were compromised through Clinton's unusual setup when also worked as Secretary of State. Clinton has not been named as a target of the FBI probe, but there's a long history of top officials getting scrutiny over classification information, right? So, I mean, it's not just Trump. We've had others. I mean, anybody want to order a 30,000 hot dogs? You guys remember? You guys remember? I remember. God damn, those were good times. Good times. Justice Department should have subpoenaed documents, not raided Trump's home. They should have subpoenaed him, not raided him. The decision by the Justice Department to conduct a full-scale morning raid on former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home doesn't seem justified, based on what we know as of now. If it is true that the basis of the raid was the former president's alleged removal of classified material from the White House, that would constitute a double standard of justice. And we know that they have no double standards in our justice system. There were no raids, for example, on the homes of Hillary Clinton or former Clinton administration National Security Advisor Senator Berger for comparable allegations of mishandling officials' records in the recent past. Previous violations of the Presidential Records Act typically have been punished by administrative fines, not criminal prosecution. Perhaps there are legitimate reasons for applying a different standard to Trump's conduct, but those are not readily obvious at this stage. You know what? I think they are readily obvious at this stage, just in my opinion. I think it's very, very much obvious. I just talked about it, right? They're literally trying to put a fucking chip in your ass. That's why it was a big puppet show. It was, to distract you from the fact that they were dumping billions of dollars into the military-industrial complex to further the transhumanist agenda. It's like they're passing all these sneaky fuck bills behind your back as it's going on. They're like, it's not clear why they would choose to do that. Okay. Sure, it's not clear. I guess. Maybe if you're, drunk as fuck or wearing beer goggles right now, it's not clear. But to me, it's very clear. Very clear, at this point. And I'm going to let's go over here to, I think I need to get off the political agenda before they knock me off the air again, before they knock me off the air again. And see Republicans cry foul. The FBI raid could retighten Trump's grip on the party. And I'm sure there was no intent of doing any of that either. You can't lie, Roger Stone was always kind of odd to you. Well, if you ever know anything about Roger Stone, who created the Trump persona, basically, or the presidential candidate Donald Trump, he shaped him for the 1988 run for president, where he basically just came in as a third-party candidate to get Pat Buchanan, knocked out of the race because they wanted to keep the two-party paradigm in place, if you guys will remember. Also, Stone was part of Nixon and Reagan administration as well, and if you think about Make America Great Again, right? Those are slogans from, Stone's old stomping grounds, dude. And Stone also started like the modern, Blackwater Foundation, basically modern day lobbyists, so like people who talk shit, and you're not talking shit, but I'm saying lots of people, talk shit like Trump is against the system. It's like you just don't know what the fuck you're talking about, because if you did, you would do your research on every part of his whole shit and you'd see that he's the most crooked bastard who's ever stepped in politics, And I'm not a fan of, trust me, I liked watching him, and I thought when he said grab her by the pussy, I thought it was very entertaining, hey, whatever, right? That shit's entertaining. I loved watching him trash bag Hillary Clinton during the debates. I thought that was hilarious, But truth be told, it is what it is. I did a video years ago. It's been taken down now. where he was like the sixth richest man in the world. He was an Israeli. He was talking about that Donald Trump was more useful to them alive than dead. And like back in the 1990s when he filed bankruptcy, he was in great debt to some very powerful people. And they were just explaining, like, I think it was Jerry Heller or some shit like that. He was talking about how, his value was going to come later on down the road. And we now see what that value was. The Antichrist, I would say that if anybody qualifies for it, Amy, that it would be Mr. Trump, for show. For show. Trump is definitely the one who is leading that race, in my opinion. I mean, you could also look at Biden, too, and say that as well. I mean, Biden's done some fucked up shit, too. And people are saying buffering, but I'm not seeing any buffering on the... I've got it I got it on another device here. I don't see any buffering. So hopefully you guys, just refresh or whatever. I do apologize. We're going to get into some other stuff now. There's a lot that's actually been taking place. And let's go here first, actually. I don't know where I want to start. We're going to go with this first, actually. Let's go to this, and then we'll get into all the craziness with the Planet X and all of that. Hypersonic revolution. Chinese firm claims breakthrough in novel engine technology that both U.S. and China are trying to master. Chinese engineering company TWR Engine has completed ground testing of a prototype rotating detonation engine, with the company hopes that will attain hypersonic speeds in the future, offering much better fuel efficiency than the pocket air jet engines that are currently in use. And this is just more, hypersonic, weaponry. That's where everything is going to right now. And you can see here, rotation detonation engines, the conventional rocket engines, essentially internal combustion engines on a large scale, generate thrust through what is known as deflagration or combustion, which the flame in the front travels through the fuel-air mixture of subsonic speeds. In a detonation combustion, the front flame travels at supersonic or hypersonic speeds more than Mach 5, or 5 times the speed of sound. Is theoretically 25% more efficient than conventional deflagrative combustion. There are two significant categories of detonation engines: the pulse detonation engine, and the other one, stated earlier, the RDE. And I mean, this is just more, of the hypersonic agenda. I just wanted to show that because, China's coming out bragging on their shit as this is happening too. Or how about this? Russia suspends U.S. inspections of nuclear weapons arsenal. Moscow blames Ukraine war sanctions for preventing mutual inspection of its nuclear arms under the New START treaty. Now, isn't that fucking crazy how the internet's been shit for 3 days? I believe that, man. I believe that, there's been lots of power outages and shit like that too. And we know that there's been a lot of geomagnetic storms, which we're going to get into that in just a second. I'm not going to stick too much on the WW3 stuff. I just want to show a couple highlights. Then we're going to go to Planet X. But, the geomagnetic storms, they do affect, those kind of things. And that's why I think you're seeing, World War III, nuclear war, all of that really get ramped up right now. And Russia has been all over the United States' ass on a lot of these treaties and deals when it comes to nuclear weapons. And then they're the ones who turn around and suspend U.S. inspections. I think it's fucking hilarious at this point, It's hilarious. Keeping it moving. Where's it at here? Right here. Yes, right here. And now we're going to get into Planet X. Excuse me. Large explosions rock Russian military airbase in Crimea. This happened just like an hour ago. Powerful explosions rocked a Russian airbase in Crimea and sent towering clouds of smoke over the landscape Tuesday in what may mark an escalation of the war in Ukraine. At least one person was killed and several others were wounded, authorities said. Russia's defense ministry denied the Saki base on the Black Sea had been shelled and said instead the munitions had blown up there. Okay? He's like, nah, nothing blew up. We just had some Russian bombs explode. No big deal. Turn off the camera. But Ukrainian social networks were abuzz with speculation that it was hit by Ukrainian-fired long-range missiles, and I'm sure they were Ukrainian. Videos posted on social networks showed sunbathers on nearby beaches fleeing as huge flames and pillars of smoke rose over the horizon from multiple points, accompanied by loud booms. And what the fuck are you doing sunbathing in a war zone? You're like, come on, honey, let's take the kids to the beach today. It's like, should we bring our hard hat, honey? It's like, we might get shelled today when we're kicking it in the fucking sun. It's like, why would you go to a fucking war zone in sunbathe? I don't know what the hell is going on with people. It's like, let's go kick it by this munitions plant in a war zone. Yeah. It's like, I feel like dying today. Let's just go to the most dangerous spot on earth and go sunbathe. Russia's state news agency TASS quoted an unidentified ministry source as saying the explosion's primary cause appeared to be a violation of fire safety requirements. The ministry said no warplanes were damaged. They want to make sure, like, it wasn't a warplane that was shot down. We promise no warplanes were damaged. Yeah, why the fuck not? I know, right? It's because I'm lame. I'm boring and I'm getting old. When you stop wanting to sunbathe in a war zone, you became a pussy. You know what I mean? It's like I've stopped living on the edge. I know I'm getting old. I need to consider retirement now. They might get shells. Yeah, I know, bullet shells. Go pick up some 32 automatic shells on the beach, kids. It's like, what the fuck? The Ministry of Defense of Ukraine cannot establish the cause of the fire, but once again recalls the rules of fire safety and the prohibition of smoking in unspecified places. I love the comments from both sides. One side's like, yo, it was just an explosion. Nobody got bombed. And they're like, they made sure to state, like, no warplanes were damaged. And the other side's like, yo, we want to stress the precautions on smoking in munitions places, like being smartasses about it. It's just fucking nuts, man. And we all sit here eating our potato chips, watching, news on Trump, like, oblivious to all the craziness that's going on. So let's go to the asteroid news. Dangerous. I want to go here first. Let's go to the ones that are actually going to have a chance to bust our head. Start here. Asteroids come dangerously close to Earth today. NASA on its impact. The asteroid 2022 OC4, which is about 36 foot wide, is likely to come within 1.5 million kilometers of Earth. In the last couple of days, several asteroids dangerously whizzed past the Earth, which could have caused a major accident if one of them had hit the planet. And NASA had alerted another asteroid, 2022 OC4, will fly past the planet on Tuesday that will also come dangerously close to it. Although the asteroid is not as large as the previous three that went past the Earth, it will come much closer to the Earth than them. The asteroid 2022 OC4, which is about 36 foot wide, is likely to come within 1.5 million kilometers of Earth. When compared to the distance that we travel, it might seem quite far, but the reality is no asteroid has come this close to Earth in recent months, other than those that have made impact. And you gotta love the parentheses too. They're like, no asteroids have even come this close, other than like the 5 that hit us already, Yeah, okay. Even though scientists are on alert and are constantly monitoring its movement to see whether it can cause severe damage, the prediction models say that the asteroid should safely pass through our planet. The asteroid 2022 OC4 was first spotted on the 28th of July. And, I love their wording too. It's like it should safely pass through our planet. So does that mean it's going to like rip completely through the damn thing? Or NASA's small body database classified the asteroid under the Apollo group of asteroids. Imagine that, Apollo. Apollo asteroids are any such asteroids whose orbital size is larger than that of Earth, but whose perihelion, the position of the orbit that is closest to the sun, is closer than that of Earth. A near-Earth object has an elliptical orbit where its perihelion is between Earth and Venus, and its aphelion, the farthest position in the orbit from the sun, is between Mars and Jupiter. According to NASA's prediction models, if it doesn't deviate from its path, it'll make a safe passage, but that may be temporary relief, as the same asteroid will come much closer to Earth in 2032. They're like, if it doesn't deviate from its path, we'll be good. But don't worry, it's coming back and it's probably going to hit us next time. So, yeah. Enjoy the view this time as it goes by really, really fucking close, Okay. I appreciate NASA too. They're just as good and just as big a part of American media and world media as any of the rest, man. Dangerous asteroids and comets that threaten the Earth can be exploited. Asteroids and comets that could one day be used for the benefit of humanity. And here's how. Yeah. I don't buy any of this shit. All the asteroid mining. I just want to put that out there right now. I don't think that we land on anything with fucking robots. And I'm going to show you an article in just a second that says which of the ones could, be the most likely to actually hit the Earth and all of that. Bennu and all that. If you look at all these asteroids they're talking about, they're getting metal off of them. Bullshit. You guys can't even get to the fucking moon, and you plan on telling me you're chasing an object down that's ripping through space at 32 kilometers a second. Give me a break, man. I don't buy it. I'm not buying it. Just saying. An asteroid is a small rocky object hurtling through the sky. When seen in a telescope, an asteroid appears as a point of light. According to NASA, in the recent months, there have been many occasions where large asteroids have just missed the Earth by a few million miles. NEOs are comets that revolve around the sun in their own orbit. Although potentially dangerous, NEOs could also be utilized for useful resources. The process is called asteroid mining, children. It says asteroids are generally made up of rocky minerals. Yeah, we're not going to go through all of this. But so basically they're saying, as now the exploitation of comets and asteroids is not cost effective since there is no base on the moon or structure in space. Yeah. Well, what about, you guys can't even get to the fucking moon. Let's start with that. You know what I mean? Let's start with that, And the International Space Station is a piece of shit. So, I'm just wondering how y'all about to do this and pull it together, But hey, if that's how we can raise money on the channel. I just figured it out. If I tell everybody that I'm saving up to mine an asteroid or to go to space, people will give me billions of dollars. Right? And I'll never have to produce any fucking results. I can draw a computer generated image of Jupiter and act like I've been to the damn place. You know what I mean? And people will just be cool with it. That's what I need to do. That's how we raise money on the channel. We just say, yo, we're going to space. The Best Damn Podcast is going to space. Fund us to go to space. And people are going to start shelling out billions of dollars to us. And we produce zero results. You feel me? Zero results. I'm going to give you a shitty computer-generated image, and you're going to like it. You're going to give me more money because I'm going to tell you I need to update my computers to get a sharper image. You feel me? Yeah. Yeah, a fucking rusted tin can. I know. It's like they go up there in a fucking aluminum foil spaceship and expect you to believe they're going to crash into an asteroid and knock it off a trajectory, and it's the size of the Empire State Building. Yeah, right. Or they even act like they could even get through the magnetic field with any of that shit. It's just insanity. And people buy into this. They go spend money to go watch all of these launches, and I'm not saying they don't have rockets and shit. And I mean, I'm not saying they don't have rockets and they don't launch rockets. There really is rockets. I mean, you can build a fucking rocket in your backyard. People, get into that shit. But I'm saying they're not leaving here in them and actually going nowhere on them. That's what I am saying. Because, truth be told, we would have some actual proof that those things happened or actually took place. For real, for real. Let's sell some snake oil. Their motto. That's exactly, dude. I promise you. Anybody who gets funding for our new space program will get a 10% kickback, right? Like, I will throw you back money if you can get the funding for the new the Best Damn Podcast space program, or we can go the Alex Jones route and do the snake oil. I'm down with that. If you guys want nutritional stuff, you got erectile dysfunction, just buy some snake oil, get you going. Whatever's going on down there, bad tummy, tummy ache, nutritional caplets, whatever the fuck they call it. I've got you. That's the route I'm going to go. I mean, if I don't do something, I think going to space, that's the best one right there. You don't need no results, no FDA approval or anything. Link, please. Hey, I got you, dude. I got you. South Korea flooding, 8 dead, 6 missing, and heaviest rainfall in 8 years. Look, dude, and speaking of erectile dysfunction, I do want to just throw this out there for people, that there is different forms of energetic healing that can help people in those departments. And not just that, but I mean, like, intestinal and, say you have different ailments. If you get your chakras in alignment, or somebody who does have their chakras in alignment, and you could have them charge crystals and everything with certain thoughts and intentions, and there is real deal healing in energy healing. Like, for real. Like, I've had ailments that I had severe nerve damage from a car crash years ago, and once I began to awaken and I got my shit aligned, like, I became like Superman. Like, I'm like a werewolf, dude. I heal like a damn Terminator and everything now, and it's like, all from just my energy being, in a good, good alignment. And I feel like I know people that also heal others, through their energy. So, just saying, throwing it out there, something to look into. South Korea flooding, 8 dead, 6 missing, and the heaviest rainfall in 80 years. And you can see the pictures here. This really was some heavy-ass rainfall. The heaviest rainfall in 80 years has pounded Seoul and surrounding regions, leaving 8 people dead and 6 others missing, as well as flooding homes, vehicles, buildings, and subway stations, officials said Tuesday. John, can you drop a link for the Discord for Ways Easy, please? Yes, I will. I'm going to have to do it after the video, because I don't have the Discord link on hand, but I will pin it in the top of the comment section. I'll put a Discord link with the donation links in there. That way you can join the Discord as well. Yeah. And I am saying, like, I tried to do the energy healing myself, and then somebody told me, because I smoked cigarettes, that I basically wasn't qualified to do it. They're like, no, it's like I'm super fertile, okay? So, like, I'm like a super, like, fertility-wise. And I'm like, yo, I could use fertility energy and help people, because there's, like, so many people that have problems, like, having children and shit. You know what I mean? You can charge crystals and everything and really bring people fertility to their life, right? They're having trouble having babies, and I can't stop having the damn things, So it's like, that kind of stuff. And they're like, well, if you smoke cigarettes, so you're not all the way healthy. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. Anyways, I mean, that, or I could just, I won't go there. Parts of Seoul, the western port city of Incheon and Gyeonggi province that surrounds Seoul, received heavy rains of over 100 millimeters per hour Monday night, with per hour precipitation in Seoul's district, surpassing 141.5 millimeters at one point, the highest downpour per hour since 1942. You mean potent, not fertile? I mean, no, I do mean fertility, because it's not just like my semen's potency. It's like my life force energy is fertile. It produces things like so like you could grow plants. There's luck. I mean, there's a lot of things. It's when I'm in balance, when I'm in tune. At this particular time, I was looking into the venture, like I was in a phase of like, everything was like very, fertile and all of that. Right now, I'm trying to attract, money and, stuff like that. I mean, either that or I could have like just banged their wife for them and got her pregnant that way. But I thought that the crystal thing would have been a better idea. Just saying. The Korea Meteorologist Administration said up to 300 millimeters of more rain is forecast for the capital area through Thursday, with southern Gyeonggi province likely to see rain surpassing 355 millimeters. Yeah, you're like, oh, I see. Yeah, no, I'm not saying I'm having babies falling out of my ass or anything. But yeah, I mean, like, just overall, yeah. Don't worry. Like that energy has done kind of waned a little bit. So it's like now I need some energy. Now I would be the one like going to the energetic dope boy. Like, yo, I need a 20 of some monetary gain, homie. Hook me up. It says the downpours left 5 people dead and 4 others missing in Seoul. 3 had died and 2 others had gone missing as of 11 a.m. According to the government, 9 people sustained injuries in Gyeonggi province, and 391 people from 230 households in the capital area were left homeless and took shelter in schools and other public facilities. In Seoul's Gwanak district, 3 family members, a woman in her 40s, her sister, and sister's teenage daughter reported that they were trapped and submerged in semi-basement home at 9:07 p.m., but later were found dead. Damn. People for real let that shit fly. Hey, dude, I'm just saying, I'm not going to say, but I am going to say, like, there has been people that's tried to trick me into helping them with fertility, put it that way. I'll just say that. All right. So there's been like, people that have tried to pull the okie doke on me because they were having trouble with fertility issues. So like, and I was just not hip to what was going on until after the fact. And it's like, holy shit. Like, that's why, like that kind of thing. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. People do for real let that shit fly. Absolutely. Absolutely. And dude, I'm not even here to judge, like, whatever you're into, bro. Like, if you're into it, I'm into it too. Whatever's good for you is good for me. It don't have to be my thing, Yeah, you want kids, but, hey, dude, no, it wasn't. That's funny. No, they didn't, it wasn't, I don't even think they had, I don't know what they had going on. But I know they had fertility issues, like, or they weren't potent. The male, couldn't produce kids, so like the female just acted like she didn't have a dude type shit, and then tried to get pregnant by me type thing, that kind of thing, dude. So, and then, so like, I mean, I got some pretty good genetics, man. Just saying. So. Maybe they picked me out. Maybe like, I want that guy on YouTube. I don't know. I would have probably picked out somebody way more handsome, if it was me. And I was like shopping with my wife on like who was going to turkey baste her. I'd be like, yo, I would have tried to entrap Jacob Israel or something. Or Marfugel. I wouldn't have went for me. Power grid shuts down as Iraq temperatures exceed 51 Celsius in heat wave from hell. Look at dude. He looks like he's in hell right now. He's like, oh my God. Iraq's power grid has been fried by extreme temperatures exceeding 123.8 degrees Fahrenheit. That is so fucking hot. In a heat wave that's forced authorities to step in as millions swelter, spreading the seed. Hey, dude, I've spread the seed. I got like four of them out there. So, yeah, maybe more. Who knows? We'll see. Millions were left without power on Saturday as the electricity grid failed in the southern provinces of Basra, Dakar, and Maysan. You're hypothetically speaking, not pointing fingers. I know it's actually funny as fuck for real. And I'm probably losing lifetime viewers by even talking. Yeah, right. People who watch me probably love this kind of shit. They're like, damn. But I mean, keep it real, dude. You know, like people, that's a real thing. Like, why would you go to a sperm bank, you know, and get some strange cats, you know, shit, you know, you don't know them or anything like that when you could, like, you know, trick a unsuspecting YouTube host into just coming and doing it for free. You know, like I'm sure I could see the logic behind it is what I'm saying, dude. You know, that's all I'm saying. Or not even a YouTube host. What if your neighbor? Fuck, who knows, right? Like maybe you got a handsome neighbor or whatever. I don't know. Just saying. I would have went for like Jacob Israel or like Marfugel or something. I would have went for somebody more popular is what I'm saying. You know? I wouldn't have went for necessarily who I thought was the most handsome or whatever. And I don't even know if that's what, maybe they just had like a small, bankroll and I was the only one they could afford to fly out or something. Who knows, right? They're like, man, we can't afford no Jacob Israel. We're going to have to go low on this one. Let's get John. Reports of mass food spoilage and illness have forced authorities to take measures to keep the population safe due to noticeable rise in temperatures. The first video shows Iraqi people taking to the streets and burning tires in Basra to protest lack of electricity. Please tell me. Yeah. No, I don't think you're attacking me. No, I don't at all, man. It's funny. It's funny. Um, I'm sorry, guys. I'm fucked up on some shit tonight. I don't know what's wrong with me. Dude, I had such a low energy yesterday. Like, I hated my own energy yesterday. I'm like, I was just so tired and grouchy and drained. And yeah, someone with more money, too. Exactly. That's why you would go for a Jacob Israel. You want a baller, right? Don't you? You know, you want to get somebody who's getting some real cheese. You want to come back on child support one day, maybe. You know, like I can see the logic, right? You know, so I'm just saying. You know, but why would these people, if it's 124 fucking degrees, why are you motherfuckers having bonfires outside? Like, couldn't you protest with like barrels of ice in the street? You know what I mean? Or like baby pools or something? Like, pick a way more constructive way to protest than lighting blazing fires because you're burning up ass hot. Couldn't afford us, John. I know, man. I know. They couldn't afford it. Local reports say residents were battling the heat by driving around their city for the sole purpose of using the air conditioner. I mean, I'm not going to act like I haven't ever seen somebody do that or haven't been in that situation, you know, where you're like so fucking hot, you're like, you drive around because you want to kick on the AC type shit. So, you know, I don't even know what's so crazy about that. I'm like, I'm not even shocked. I'm like, what's so wild about that? They drove around because they didn't have no AC, you know. But why would you start a bonfire in protest of being hot? Ice cream trucks, exactly. Do something different. On Sunday morning, the governor of Dakar province announced a public holiday for state employees. Barrels of ice. There you go. Something way different than lighting a big blazing fire in 125 degree weather. That was just counterintuitive, counterproductive. That's all I'm saying. Would be extended until the religious festival of Muharram, which begins on Tuesday. A hair conditioner. The Middle Eastern nation ranks fifth on the global list of the most vulnerable countries to the impacts of climate change. You think? You think they're vulnerable? They lit a fucking bonfire in 125-degree weather. They're definitely vulnerable as fuck to climate change. They're not the sharpest tool in the shed. If they lit the biggest blaze they could find because they were hot. Sorry. They're fifth on the global list of the most vulnerable countries. And they lit a goddamn fire because they were hot. Woo. Weather forecasts indicated most of Iraq would experience temperatures of around 113 or higher this week. But the sudden spike, you wonder why you're like number 5 on the vulnerability list. It's like you lit a fire because you were so hot. Higher this week, but the sudden spike has caught even the most experienced by surprise. The electricity grid is not the only public service in trouble, with hospitals also under strain as they battle an influx of heat stroke cases. Yeah. Dude, hey, you would make so much bank in Iraq right now with an ice cream truck. For real. You would be doing well. That's a pretty good investment, just saying. And I'm guessing the influx of heat stroke cases were all the people that were lighting those goddamn fires. I'm just gonna speculate. Oh shit. That's the most funny thing I've ever seen. Heat waves have also crippled Europe this summer, bringing a number of nations to a halt. Faced with a historic drought and threatened by desertification, is that desertification? Spain is now rethinking how it spends its water resources, which are used mainly to irrigate crops. We must be extremely careful and responsible instead of looking the other way. And like France and Italy, Spain has been gripped by several extreme heat waves this summer after an unusually dry winter. But see the motherfuckers, like, in Spain, they're not lighting fires, though. That's, I think Spain is going to survive. Oh my God. And somebody was literally telling me, too, like, how muggy and hot it was today. Literally today. And then this article comes up. It's crazy. It says the situation is dramatic, said University of Jaén hydrology professor Rosario Jimenez, adding both underground aquifers and surface bodies of waters were running low. Yeah, it's getting real dramatic. The Tavistock Institute of Human Relations, shaping the moral, spiritual, cultural, and political and economic decline of the United States of America by John Coleman. Tavistock Institute. Hey, I've watched a lot of documentaries on Tavistock and shit, so there's a lot of good information out there on that. I don't want to get into all that and get sidetracked, but parts of Spain and the driest they have been in 1,000 years due to an atmospheric high pressure system driven by climate change, according to a study published last month in the journal Nature Geoscience. Greenpeace estimates that 75% of the country is susceptible to desertification. Spain built a vast network of dams to provide water for its farms and towns. During the 20th century, 1,200 large dams were built in the country, the highest number in Europe per capita. Wow. So, it's like everywhere, dude. You can see, like, this is more than just one place that's having this, power grid, heat, and all this is really, it's fucking people up right now. New eruption in Iceland at Meridalir, unrest at Iwo Jima. This week, a new volcanic eruption began in Iceland at Meridalir. The fissure eruption has already begun to construct a cinder cone at a higher rate than witnessed in the 2021 eruption. Meanwhile, in Japan, the Iwo Jima volcano and caldera produced a new series of explosive and shallow submarine eruptions. And also in Japan, another island volcano was placed on a heightened alert level due to seismic unrest. And you know what? If you take a look at what's going on, which I want to pull something up here. Let's take a look at the solar activity, just, for shits and giggles here. Because, this has been something that, and we have the Perseid meteor showers. Earth entered a stream of debris from the Comet Swift-Tuttle. You guys remember the Comet Swift-Tuttle? We've done videos on that too. The source of the annual Perseid meteor showers. We're only in the outskirts of the stream now, but already fireballs are streaking across the night sky. The shower peaked in bright moonlight on the 12th to 13th when the Earth touches the densest part of the debris zone. Hot ribbons in the sky during yesterday's surprise geomagnetic storm, and there you have it, right? There's the geomagnetic storm to coincide with the crazy weather. Hot ribbons of plasma flowed through Earth's magnetosphere. Look at that. Look at that. That's pretty wild right there. It says the name of the phenomena is Steve, short for strong thermal emission velocity enhancement. It was also sighted in Montana and Pennsylvania. We had a superb showing of Steve over southern Alberta, says Dyer. The ribbon stretched across the entire sky, peaking in intensity around 12:30 a.m. And tell me, when there was ever a time, tell me when there was ever a time when we seen plasma streaks across the sky. You know what I mean? And then and you can see all the sunspots that are lit up over here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sunspots right there. And we're having all of these, grid failures, drought, right? Intense weather, and then in other places it's flooding. It's like 1,000 fucking years of rain in 30 minutes type shit. This just goes into that, the cosmic cycles of energy that I talk about all the time, and how, Tavistock and Frankfurt School are similar. But this just goes into, what I'm talking about, like, all the time, and how these correlate, right? Like, in the magnetic field and our sun's activity, and notice, lo and behold, as we experience the big plasma streak across the sky with the 123 degree weather, and, all joking aside, people are fucking dying in Iraq. I mean, I know some dumbasses lit bonfires, but, people are dying because it's 125 damn degrees outside. So, I mean, that's legit real deal heat. And then you have power grid collapses and all this, and shortages in water. And it's not just Iraq, it's France, Italy, Spain, even places in the United States, power outages and all of this, and you have giant plasma streaks across the sky, incredible solar activity, and Comet Swift-Tuttle ripping past. Do you see what I'm saying? So when we look at the planet on a large scale, and people wonder why I talk about the South Atlantic anomaly and the magnetic flux and magnetic reversal and all of the aurora activity that's taking place, and how those are gases and plasmatic manifestations, of something that's actually going on externally and influencing the sun and the earth. This is your evidence right here. Comet Swift-Tuttle P's going past, and you have a giant-ass plasma streak, a bunch of sunspots, and drought, monsoons, fires, all kinds of seismic activity all taking place at the same time, Cosmic ray, yin-yang, and it says that the network reported 67 fireballs. You can see the different directions they came from, the orbital plane. And on August 10th, there were 2,291 potentially hazardous asteroids, and some of the ones closer to us. Let's see here. OC4 was 4 lunar distances, 12 feet in diameter, 12 meters in diameter, excuse me. 2022 PF, 4.5 lunar distances, 15 meters in diameter. 2022 PA1, 18 in diameter. On the 16th, we have 29 meters in diameter and 1.4 lunar distances. And that's 2022 PW. So that's about the biggest, closest threat we have coming up for a few days. Great show, John. Thank you so much. I'm glad I deserve all the subs. Man, hey, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, honestly. I've really been trying to put content on all the platforms too. I was even doing my TikTok game today for real, and I never fuck with TikTok. I don't know how I got thousands of people follow me on TikTok. I don't even know how it happened. I'm lazy as hell on TikTok. See, data arc span 3 days. Condition code 7. You know, when we talk about the condition codes, that's from 0 to 9, right? 9 being completely unsure, 0 being completely sure. We have a major fire burning in our province of Newfoundland, Canada. Worst in over 6 decades. Wow. Yeah, see, let me just put this out there too. Canada, I just showed this in a video the other day when I was showing the magnetosphere. Canada has like the largest, dissipation or disintegration. I don't know what word you would actually use, but of the magnetic field strength, over the entire globe. So Canada used to be where we had the strongest concentration of the magnetic north. Now it's weakening in a major, major way. And you guys experiencing fires and all of that, and we're getting lightning strikes even in, DC and shit. So, I mean, this is becoming a regular thing now, so, and fire, as a result of a lot of this stuff, man. So, keep it moving here. Right here, speaking of fires, huge McKinney fire in California destroyed nearly 90 homes and is only 40% contained. So there you have it. That's in California. California's McKinney fire destroyed nearly 90 houses, only 40% contained, a week after breaking out the Klamath National Forest. With hot and dry conditions expected to continue throughout the weekend, the blaze, the largest wildfire in California so far this year, erupted on July 29th. The forest near the California-Oregon border and grew rapidly, fueled by winds from thunderstorms. So, yeah. Sunday morning, the fire burned over 60,000 acres, and the perimeter was 40% contained. According to InciWeb, the clearinghouse for fire information, more than 3,500 fire personnel are involved in battling the fire. Of 274 structures inspected so far, 87 homes and additional 47 structures, including garages, commercial buildings, have been destroyed. And wow, over 60,000 acres. So the shit's legit, dude. It was caused by lightning. There you have it. 0% contained here. Wow, that's pretty crazy. And this has been another thing, too. Food supply factories and oil tankers and places that have oil as well. This is no accident. Dozens injured, 17 missing after lightning strike triggers huge explosions and fire at Cuba oil supertanker port. And I just want to point out something, guys. With HAARP, right? And that's the whole stratospheric, aerosol injection, right, where they basically take directed energy and they focus it on the ionosphere until they create like focused points of energy, plasmatic discharge. And they push the ionosphere out, right, or the magnetic field out, allegedly. That's how it works, right, to create and move around weather, precipitation, wind, weather patterns, right? Can create lightning strikes, and no shit, how much of Cali's actually left to be considered as habitable? I know, bro. if you actually think about it, California's been burning for like 5 years straight. It's like that must be a big ass state because it's constantly on fire, you know? You're right. How much of it is left habitable, you know? Escape from LA type shit. But I mean, it says this is no accident. You know, lightning strike triggers a huge explosion at Cuba oil tanker. And I think of HAARP, man. I think of HAARP. And this is attack on oil. And remember, we talk about the United States dollar as a petrodollar, and we've seen all this attack on oil lately and fuel. And especially our enemies, right? Dozens of people have been injured and 17 firefighters are missing after lightning struck fuel storage tanks at a supertanker port in Cuba, sparking explosions and ferocious fires. The blaze broke out during a thunderstorm on Friday night in the city of Matanzas and raged uncontrollably on Saturday despite fire crews battling to quell it. The official Cuban news agency said a lightning strike set one oil tank on fire at Matanzas supertanker base, and the blaze later spread to a second fuel storage container. At least 67 people have been injured in 4 explosions, and 17 firefighters remain unaccounted for, according to Cuban state-run television. Civilians had already been evacuated from the area. And you can see right there, that's a big fucking blaze right there, man. Health Minister Jose Angel Portal Miranda said in a Twitter post that the 3 of those injured were in critical condition and 15 in a grave condition. 7 patients were transferred to hospitals in the capital, Havana, and President Miguel Diaz-Canel visited the scene 80 miles east of Havana around midnight on Friday and returned during the morning as a state-run television broadcast live coverage of the unfolding disaster. Mr. Diaz-Canel posted on Twitter before the second blast that first responders were trying to avert the spread of the flames and any spill of fuel. Damn, dude, that is a big-ass fire. Later tweet from his office said Cuba was asking friendly nations with experience of the oil sector for help. Damn, son. And you know what? They're literally asking friendly nations for help. You know, that lets you know that it is legit, you know, like whether it was an accident or not, it's one thing, you know, that's something else, but they're asking for help. By Saturday morning, the fire appeared completely out of control, threatening other nearby fuel storage tanks as smoke reached Havana, more than 60 miles away. I was in the gym when I felt the first explosion. A column of smoke and terrible fire rose through the skies, resident Ariel Gonzalez said, adding that the city had a strong smell of sulfur. Ooh, guys, that is a little sus right there. I'm not going to lie. The sulfur, that makes me wonder if that was, you know, some type of crustal displacement or, you know, came from underneath is what I'm saying, right? Like, you know, seismically, you know, fumes from underneath the earth, you know, leaked. And we've seen methane explosions many times before. You know, and that smell of sulfur, that's a big indicator, you know, that something was coming from underneath the ground, you know, or maybe, you know, a meteorite or something of that nature is all I'm saying. Like, something is off when he's saying, yo, there's this huge, strong smell of sulfur. The smoke looks so toxic, too. Yeah, I know it does. It really does. So, hypothetically, they could use HAARP to take out parts of the Hoover Dam. Yes, absolutely. Hypothetically, they could use HAARP to take out parts, electrical, of the Hoover Dam. Yes, they could, dude. Yeah. So, I mean, HAARP's a dangerous bitch, dude. Like, people, it's not just to geoengineer things. Like, it's a weapon. You know, it's a weapon. It can create hurricanes, typhoons, cyclones, tornadoes. It could do any of that. As well as put a bolt of lightning, like in Paradise Fires in California, came out of the sky. You know, where the fire was totally electrical. You know, that kind of shit. You know, you guys remember. That was back when YouTube was still YouTube. I mean, they started their censorship back then. But I remember I had videos, and it looked like Terminator 2 Judgment Day. People were in their cars with their hands still on the steering wheel because the fires happened so goddamn quick. You know, they couldn't even escape their vehicles. They were just skeletons holding onto the wheels. Shit. That was back when a Plain Truth and all of those channels were around. Those were, you know, the golden years of YouTube where you could still get truth back then. You know, there were still people that, you know, that were doing it, that were trying to, you know, share truth and trying to make changes to the world before it was too late. You know, and now we're at a way different version of all of that now. You know, people that are coming into the truth now, you know, it's nothing like what it was then. You know, I think people would agree. At least back then, you know, there was, you know, people were able to put shit out there that needed to be put out there, man. You know, now it's so much, all the hobo code and all of that, man. You know, it's like we can't even really talk about anything anymore. So, and if we do, we're in so much trouble. You know, it's time that you pack up and move. The fire comes as Cuba suffers from daily blackouts and fuel shortage. Problems likely to be aggravated by the blaze. And there you have it. They're suffering from daily blackouts and fuel shortage. Right? What a coincidence. The area is transshipment point for fuel to various thermoelectric plants, not just the one nearby. So this could be very bad news for the power grid. So there you have it. Dude, look, it's a shipment point. They're having fuel shortages and blackouts as well. And then a giant lightning bolt that smelled like sulfur explodes their goddamn fuel plant. How convenient. Right? How convenient. That's all I'm saying, man. Speaking of, could you find them using the Wayback Machine? I don't know. I know some of my old videos people have uploaded on BitChute, and I know other people have uploaded like some of A Plain Truth and stuff, some of their old videos. There was a website that asked me for permission like a couple years ago to catalog all my work, and I know they didn't just do mine, they did everybody's, and it was BillGatesIsAMurderer.com or something like that. I mean, it was a crazy name of the site, but they was like cataloging all of like the good videos and shit, and I told them yes. You know, I let them do my shit. So, I mean, I think it was BillGatesIsTryingToKillUsAll.com or BillGatesIsAMurderer.com, one of those. Just Google it, you know. Yeah, sit back and watch the shit show. Yeah, no shit, man. It says, some people believe that the world will end with an apocalyptic asteroid, with objects coming close to hitting Earth frequently. It does not seem like an irrational belief. After all, we are orbiting in a solar system surrounded by potential threats, but many studies have proven that the apocalyptic asteroid should not cause distress. Few have a slight chance of hitting Earth and are often thousands of years away from impact. To remain safe, scientists stay on top of these asteroids. If you're curious which asteroid is most likely to hit the Earth, there are two contenders, 1950 DA and Bennu. And dude, Bennu, I'm trying to think, is it OSIRIS-REx where they sent the satellite to Bennu and it's supposedly to mine asteroid Bennu and all of that? And Japan, you know, has launched shit up to Bennu too. Asteroid 1950 DA. Asteroid 1950 DA, discovered in 1950 but disappeared soon after. It was later seen in 2001 when scientists recorded it with high-precision radar measurements. They discovered asteroid 1950 DA was 11 kilometers, over 100 times bigger than asteroids more likely to hit the planet. The European Space Agency's Near-Earth Object Coordination Center indicates that the asteroid 1950 DA has a chance of hitting Earth centuries from now, approximately March 16th, 2880. Okay? And Bennu, a top-shaped rubble pile, a third of a mile wide at its equator, and it's another likely asteroid to hit the Earth. It was discovered in September 1999 and is classified as a potentially hazardous asteroid. Despite having a slightly higher chance of impact, Bennu is 99.9% likely not to crash into the Earth anytime soon. All the risk encounters will happen in the 2100s or early 2200s. Scientists have confirmed that the earliest likely impact will be September 24th, 2182, and the asteroid having a 1 in 2700 chance of striking our planet. And I just want to, keep it real, dude. This September is when Double Asteroid Redirection Test makes its shit. You know what I'm saying? So we will see what's up, right? We will see what's up. So, here in September, Double Asteroid Redirection Test, we'll see when they launch their tin can at a giant fucking asteroid, Didymos and Dimorphos, and what happens. And I want to, wrap up tonight's show with the full moon in Aquarius, which we will be experiencing on Thursday, I believe, and the astrology for the month of August. I do want to ask everybody tonight that is watching to make sure to hit that like, hit that thumbs up if you're in the chat. Leave a comment, on any of the stories that we've covered. Let me know what you think. Share this link on your social media, the Facebook groups, whatever you belong to. Make sure to subscribe and follow on all the platforms. And guys, support us. Donate. Support if you can. We're under attack, flat out. They blow up every video I do now, and knock it off the air. And I promise you, I get electronically harassed all the fucking time. And it's people trying to push me away from doing this. And they've tried to block every financial outlet that I have. So without your support, none of this is possible. So I'm asking everybody to please help me out and donate if you can. And I'm like $200 away from the monthly goal. So much to the chagrin of the Leo placements worldwide, the past few weeks have brought about some extremely destabilizing astrology, from an explosive conjunction between the North Node, Mars, and Uranus all going down in the Earth sign Taurus, to a squaring off between the fixed signs. A little structure will feel very much like a salve. Enter August 2022's full moon in Aquarius, a Saturn-ruled lunation. Boundaries are the name of the game. When the full moon in Aquarius reaches its peak of fullness on August 11th at 9:36 p.m. Eastern Time, it's time to bring down the hammer when it comes to protecting your peace. Find out everything you need to know, and time to bring down the hammer when it comes to protecting the peace. So support and smash that like button and subscribe. Protect the peace, fam. This is the last supermoon of the year. Not only is it the full moon in Aquarius, a supermoon, it's also the last supermoon of the year, wrapping up a cycle of supermoons that began in May. And this term refers to any full moon that's at a distance of at least 90% of perigee, aka the point at which the moon is closest to Earth. Not only does this amplify the moon in a visual sense, but it also may amplify emotions. The Sturgeon moon, per the Old Farmer's Almanac, the August full moon is called the Sturgeon moon for an extremely literal reason. It was a time of the summer in which the giant sturgeon fish found in the Great Lakes of Lake Champlain were caught in abundance. No real astrological connection, and that's okay. The full moon in Aquarius is in the midst of a T-square. One of the major themes this lunation is tension, courtesy of a T-square between the Sun in Leo, the Moon in Aquarius, and a pile-up in Taurus, including the North Node, Uranus, and Mars. A T-square is formed when at least two planets are in opposition and are both aspected a third planet by square. This week will be from the full moon in Aquarius, sitting in opposition to the Sun in Leo, both squared by the pileup in Taurus at the apex. The full moon in Aquarius is in a conjunction to Saturn, the planet of time, rules, and boundaries. Saturn is in the last stretch of its transit through Aquarius, and before it glides into Pisces in March 2023, it still has a few more lessons to dole out on the importance of structure for the collective. Look at where Aquarius lands in your birth chart and where you're myopic towards what could be fortified for a better future. Meanwhile, Mars, Uranus, and the North Node conjunction in Taurus is a tumultuous transit, and that deals with the destiny and creating financial values that stand the test of time. Considering how the moon in the emotional center of the zodiac, this T-square highlights the tensions between your current feelings and the life you dream of living. What's on the chopping block? How to make the most of the full moon. August 2022 offers a chance to course correct with strong boundaries in place. It's time to renegotiate the terms of your life to create a more solid foundation. It's the fixed sine way. In lieu of manifesting, cultivate a richer inner world that doubles as a bunker for the storm. Much like how Aquarius deals with the big picture of humanity, use that same vantage point to examine your emotional world and the part of your chart that contains Aquarius. Perspective is always a gift, but especially under this lunation. And remember, guys, I have talked about this, that this is, the calm before the storm type shit, and that we do have, this moon coming up, and this is a major time for manifestation this week. Right, from this moon to about 3 or 4 days after this moon. This is the time for manifestation. This is the time to sow the seed you're trying to sow. So, if you donate to charities, if you want to fucking cut your landlady's yard or whatever, like, this is the time to do good deeds. This is the time to sow good energy is what I'm saying. This is the time to get your manifestations in order. And I do moon rituals, new moon, full moon, eclipse rituals. I write down on pieces of paper, depending on the numerology of the date or whatever, whether it correlates to a 1 or a 3 or a 2 or whatever. In this one on the 11th, I would use 1. I would write down one thing that I wanted to manifest and attract into my life, and one thing that I wanted to release on a piece of paper on the day of the full moon. And you can do it 3 days before or 3 days after, and then I would burn the piece of paper. Some people bury it, all different types of things, but I burn it afterwards, right? And I can tell you this, man, that the moon manifestations, this is also when I plan on starting my positive affirmation cycle. So on the 11th, the day of the moon, in the mirror, you start your day off by saying 10 positive affirmations in the mirror. You can do it naked. You can do it with your clothes on. But start it from, this new moon to the next one, and see how much stronger your self-image gets as a result just by saying those positive affirmations. And you don't have to just do positive affirmations in the mirror. You could also start like a manifestation or a scripting too. Each morning when you do your positive affirmations, write, 3 things you want to manifest. Script your life out. Couldn't find it, but TikTok claims there's a grip of videos of old Billy G talking to CIA. I'm not surprised. The astrology of 2022 is, for better or worse, explosive. We just come down from historic conjunction in Taurus between Mars, Uranus, and the North Node. Multiple outer planets have stationed retrograde, and all the fixed signs are duking it out in a month-long battle. What's needed is a moment of peace and luck through the upheaval. Yeah, man. And we're entering into what is calling the Lionsgate portal. That's 88 Lionsgate. That was yesterday. The Lionsgate portal is thoroughly a modern development that claims to be the luckiest day of the year. The mythology behind the Lionsgate portal ties into the rising of the fixed star Sirius, which rises annually over the eastern horizon on August 8th. Sirius itself is said to combine some of the expansive, abundant energies of Jupiter and the decisive, driven energies of Mars. Together, it's a recipe for power, growth, and luck. So, yesterday was another day. Thank you for the super chat. Ways easy. I appreciate that. Good looking on that. According to some astrologers, the Lionsgate portal allows us to boldly and optimistically open new doors of opportunity. In layman's terms, it's probably a good time to manifest your dream life. According to the ancient Egyptians, the rising of Sirius, which is considered the most significant dawn rising of all stars, coincided with the flooding of the Nile. So this time of the year was seen as a prosperous and fertile. Plus, it goes down during Leo season, hence the name. So the courageous and regal qualities of the lion tie into the portal's so-called power, not to mention Jupiter's in retrograde. In numerology, 8 is considered one of the luckiest numbers with associations with wealth, abundance, and potential to achieve success. The Lionsgate portal on 8/8, if you will, have the alleged power to take your life to the next level. And since the Lionsgate portal is a relatively new event, any rituals and celebration of it can be totally customized to your liking. Choose crystals that protect and create abundance for an altar to honor for the event. And much like other manifestation events, taking a pen to paper and simply writing out your wishes and desires is a foolproof method for reshaping your reality. See, there you go. Right? It's like they were reading my fucking mind. I just told you that's the best thing to do. It's been 2 years since the second. Okay, I don't even know where that's come from. But there you have it, right? There you have it. So we had the Lionsgate portal. We have this new moon coming up. Oh man, no problem. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Honestly, I've really been trying to cover as much as I can recently. A lot of people get pissed at me, for the astrology and the tarot and all of that. I don't see how you can even be in the spiritual or truth or shit at this point and still be indoctrinated to, at all. Like, I don't see how you can still be superstitious over that stuff at all at this point. I mean, if you don't like it or believe in it, that's up to you, but, I don't know. I do tarot readings. If you want to book a tarot reading, they are $50 for a tarot reading. Text 513-393-2396. Set up an appointment. I can either send you your own personal video of the tarot reading, or we can book an appointment. I do it within 20 hours or 24 hours if you're paying. Also, join us on Patreon. Or you can donate $35 a month, join the Best Damn Fam, get the extended tarot readings, the uncensored private content. There is over 100 private videos. They're hours long. It's all the stuff that we can't talk about on the public platforms. I've covered the whole COVID shit from day one, so all that is on there, like all of it. And every week I do a private show on Discord for everyone. All those shows are on there too. So donate and support. Everybody who donates and supports gets to watch on Discord. I appreciate everybody who will. It's PayPal, Venmo, Patreon, Cash App, or Facebook Messenger. If you want a soul profile, which is a tarot reading plus the astrology for you, and the gematria, the numerology, and the etymology of your name, along with the ley lines on which you were born. It's like really cool. It's $100. So let me know, guys, if you want one of those, and donate if you can. That's how I keep the channel going. We're still kind of at the start of the new month, like $200 away from the goal. So I'm asking everybody to please help me out, support. I got a glasses appointment tomorrow. I need to raise it within a week so I can get my new glasses. And please hit that like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment. Let me know if you just, what your thoughts are on any of the things that we talked about. And make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Justin Michael, Matthew Short, Jody Johnson, Stool Perger, Amy VR, Saul Issei. I appreciate all of you guys. DL, Ways Easy. I am Karen, and I'm gonna try to put I'll put a Discord link. I'll pin it in the top of the comment section with the donation links, and all the other links are in the description. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, Jesus is the truth, the way, and life. God bless you all. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Peace.